Welcome back, baseball fans, to another edition of the Rawlings MVC First Pitch. And our stop this week is in Evansville, Indiana, where we catch up with Wes Carroll, where the Aces are 23-16 at the time of our visit, 8-7 in the conference. And Coach, I don't want to be over dramatic about anything, but that game on Saturday might be a game, if you guys take care of business the rest of the way, where you circle it on the calendar and kind of wipe your brow and say, whoo, because Kip Fugers basically put us all on his back and won us a game on Saturday against Murray State. That had to have been thrilling to watch.
It sure was, and we've been looking for some sort of spark and some sort of magic, through the seasons that you have, the good teams that you have, and the good seasons that you're able to accomplish usually have some sort of spark and some sort of magic. And here we are feeling like we're dead in the water there in the ninth inning with 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. And, we worked some great at bats and some walks to be able to have that magical moment with Kip, delivering a barrel. Coming through big time. He had a 2-run home run in the 8th and then a grand slam in the 9th. Just really stepped up big time for our team that in a much needed spot on the road in the Valleys, very challenging. Pennington threw one heck of a game for Murray State. It just kept us completely off balance and just kind of was off our barrel the entire day. And for us to be able to, win that and walk off fashion, not in our head, walk off fashion at the top of the 9th, hopefully we can build off of and really get on a roll here in the stretch run.
And that had to feel good for Nate Hardman too, to come into the bottom of the inning and slam the door like he did.
Yeah. Whenever he has an easy inning, it's definitely thrilling, and for him, he had a really wipeout slider and threw really well, and just being able to have him on the back end, a guy that can spin it, can control it, is pretty special. And for it to kind of just be an easy kind of bottom in the 9th compared to a lot of pressure pitches always makes it an easier win.
And a guy that has kind of been banged up for you this year, one of your veterans, Mark Schallenberger. It was nice to have him back at least for a little bit. You feel like you got to put him in bubble wrap in between games, but when he plays and when he's healthy, he's one of the best you guys have.
Yeah, an absolute difference maker, and I think obviously one of the best players in the Missouri Valley Conference. Just plays with a lot of personality, a lot of flair, and a lot of energy that I think our guys really feed off of. And I think that's kind of been the story of our year. We had 3 of our preseason, all conference players have just been banged up. Just been battling, injuries through the entire year, with not only Schallenberger being on the shelf for little over 6 weeks, but Brent Witter has just really been battling a wrist injury the entire year. And Nick Smith, has been uncomfortable and hasn't been himself. And so what we're hopeful is that we can get healthy down the stretch here and make a run.
I'm sure it has to make you feel extra good when Simon Sherry gets the kudos that he did, named to the Wallace Award watch list this past week. Being a former middle infielder yourself, you got to feel like there's a little kinship there and kind of like the son you don't have, huh?
Yeah, just an absolute special athlete at shortstop that we have. He's turned his raw potential coming out of high school into a polished shortstop that I believe that can play at the next level. Just really is a fluid, athletic mover. And anytime the ball is hit, the direction of him or Brent Witter, I'm feeling pretty confident about it. And he's really coming to his own at the plate as well. Really has developed a great overall approach. And, he's a special talent that I feel like is the best shortstop in the conference.
Seems like this is a time of the year, Coach, where you feel like you got to get moving no matter where you are, at the very top of the standings or at the very bottom. And in you guys' case, you're within shouting distance of first place. And here comes Indiana State this weekend.
Yeah, an enormous weekend, obviously. I mean, Indiana State, wow, they've really just kind of separated themselves, especially after the win yesterday. And I'm anxious to see what they do today. They've been the one team that just looks like has been absolutely consistent throughout. Whereas you see, a lot of other Valley teams, have just kind of been up and down with being consistent. Like us, we were able to catch Missouri State when their bats weren't really going, and now their bats are hot. And so it's such a talented conference top to bottom that, anybody on any weekend can really get hot and showcase their ability. And for us, we need to show some consistency. We really do, top to bottom in our lineup. We've got to get some consistency, out of our rotation. I feel like the staple in our rotation has been Donovan Schultz. He's been outstanding, giving us a chance each and every time he toes the rubber. But now it's time for the rest of the rotation and our bullpen and just our overall defense and hitting starts playing to their ability and being more consistent with it, because I feel like we have a talented group that can do some damage down the stretch and in the conference tournament.
We will talk to you again in a couple of weeks, Coach. Good luck this weekend and beyond.
All right. Thanks, Shane.
You bet. Join us next time on the MVC Rawlings First Pitch as we wind down the regular season in the Missouri Valley Conference.